A useful dataset can be copied to an external AI provider in minutes. But the hard question is not simply whether the table looks clean. Can we prove what is living, why this exact version is allowed to live, who approved it, and what happened afterwards? Latch turns that copy operation into an evidence-backed release transaction. Data Hub provides organizational context, BigQuery provides measured proof, Gemini explains evidence and human written authority. For this demo, Lighthouse Mobility is fictional EV charging company preparing support conversations for an external model adoption workflow. All 24 records are synthetic. The data contains useful prompts and responses across 4 languages, but also control problems. Direct identifiers hidden inside text, training ineligible conversation, and small cohorts. The input is synthetic, but workflow is real. Here, the requester declares exactly what is being released: the data hub, asset, BigQuery source, external destination, fine-tuning purpose, requested fields, output location, and a 70% utility floor. So Latch is not reviewing some generic file, it is reviewing one specific dataset for one specific purpose and a destination. Now data hub becomes load-bearing. Latch resolves the exact catalog, asset, its owner, schema, classification, glossary meaning, upstream lineage, and level lineage. DataHub tells Latch which field this organization considers direct identifiers. It also gives organizational meaning to AI training aloud instead of letting an LLM guess what the boolean means. And it shows that this apparently prepared training source actually came from internal raw support table. Latch freezes that context into a version release contract. That context determines which checks are required, which fields are prohibited, and what governance evidence is necessary. If required ownership or lineage is missing, Latch stops instead of inventing fallback context. With that contract established, BigQuery evaluates the actual source. The release is blocked for several independent reasons. Direct identifier column were requested. Configured email, phone, account, and order patterns also occur inside the training text. 3 conversations are not eligible for AI training, and small cohort violates the configured policy. These are executed warehouse measurement, not a Gemini opinion. Raw support conversations stay inside the BigQuery. But Latch doesn't simply stop at unsafe. It creates transformation already permitted by policy and actually executes previews before the human chooses. Balance removes direct fields, redacts configured identifiers in text, filters ineligible records, and repairs small group problems. In this run, balance and maximum utility retain 87.5% of the source. Stronger protection is more aggressive but becomes ineligible because removing more data can destroy the utility needed for training. So safety and usefulness are measured together. Gemini may explain these trade-offs, but it cannot invent the matrix, create a proof state, or approve the transformation. The human chooses the measured plan. After the human approve a plan, BigQuery materializes a separate release candidate. Latch does not trust the intended transformation simply because the SQL ran. It checks that physical candidate again from scratch. Identifier checks, training eligibility, cohort rules, required fields, category coverage, and retention must all pass together. Only a complete past evidence set create verified. Even then, publication requires a separate human approval. So the version being published is the same candidate whose evidence was actually reviewed. The verified candidate is now published and Latch seals its release passport. The request, data, context, contract evidence, approvals, exact transformation, lineage evidence, and cryptographic hashes.